Chosen one, suspend your logic for a moment. You did not find this video found you. For the last season, you have felt like you were screaming underwater, making noise, but being heard by no one. You thought the silence from heaven meant you were being punished. You questioned your own sanity. You asked, did I miss the turn? Am I just making this up? But hear this. The teacher is always silent during the test, and the reason you felt so isolated was not because you were rejected. It was because you were in a spiritual witness protection program. God had to hide you to keep you alive. But today, the threat is gone. The embargo is lifted, and I have the declassified file that explains everything you just went through. Open your spirit right now to receive the verdict you have been dying to hear. You passed. I know you do not feel like a winner right now. You might be sitting in your car or lying in the dark right now wondering why your heart is still racing if the battle is over. You feel like a soldier who came home but still hears the bombs. That is why I need you to stay with me until the very last second of this message, because by the end of this video, I'm going to hand you the keys to something called Shalom, which is the law of double restitution. And I will reveal a specific tool to shift your brain frequency so you can actually receive it. Do not leave before you get the full briefing. Let us look at the diagnosis of your spirit. You feel exhausted, not because you failed, but because you actually finished. Look at 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7. Paul says, I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Notice he did not say I won the race. In the Greek context of that time, winning meant beating others, but finishing meant completing the assignment. Paul wrote that from a cold, dark prison cell when everyone had abandoned him. He did not look like a winner to the world, but in the spirit, he had completed the mandate. You are feeling heavy right now because you just crossed the finish line of a marathon that nobody else saw you running. You did not quit when the money dried up. You did not curse God when the friends left. You finished, and that heaviness is just the adrenaline leaving your system. You might be thinking, if I finished, why am I so alone? This brings us to the second part of your file. You think the isolation you have faced for the last 3 years was an attack from the enemy, but I am here to tell you, it was actually a shield from God. You have been placed in what I call the Divine Witness Protection Program. There are 3 phases to this hiding, and you need to understand them to stop resenting your life. The first phase was isolation, where God deliberately cut ties that were dragging you down. The second phase was incubation, where you developed power in the dark. And now you're entering the third phase, which is activation. But look at Psalm 27, verse 5. It says, For in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion. That word hide in the original Hebrew is tzafan. And tzafan does not mean hiding a criminal so they do not get caught. It means to treasure up or to hoard something valuable. It is the same word used for storing gold in a secret vault. God did not hide you because he was ashamed of you. He hid you because you became too valuable to be left out in the open during a war. He sophaned you. He vaulted you. So that loneliness you hate was actually the walls of a vault, keeping your anointing from being stolen before it was fully developed. But here is where most chosen ones get confused. You think the test you just went through was about patience. You tell yourself, I just need to be more patient. But I need to flip that understanding upside down. You did not pass a patience test. You passed something far more dangerous. You passed the test of blind trust. See, patience is easy when you can see the finish line and you just have to wait to get there. But you have been walking without seeing the finish line. You have been driving in a fog so thick you could not see the hood of your car. That is not patience. That is blind trust. Let me tell you about a woman I will call Sarah. 2 years ago, she lost her job, her fiancé, and her reputation in the span of 3 months. She prayed and heard absolutely nothing. The sky was brass. Logic told her to stop giving, stop helping, stop believing. But every month, even when she had to choose between gas and groceries, she kept tithing. She kept helping her friends find jobs even though she did not have one. She walked in total darkness for 730 days. That was not patience. That was a refusal to let go of God's hand even when she could not see God's face. Isaiah 50 verse 10 speaks to this. It asks, "Who is among you that fears the Lord, that obeys the voice of his servant, that walks in darkness and has no light?" It says, "Let him trust in the name of the Lord." Sarah passed the blind trust test. And because she trusted in the dark, God entrusted her with a kingdom in the light. Today, she runs a business that generates 10 times what she lost. You are standing where she stood. You kept walking when the lights went out. That is why you passed. However, we have to address the elephant in the room. If you passed, and if the hiding is over, why do you still feel stuck? Why does it feel like there is a glass ceiling between you and the blessings I am talking about? This is not a spiritual problem anymore. This is a frequency problem. Think of your brain like a radio. For the last few years during your test, you have been tuned into the survival channel. This is what science calls beta brainwaves. It is the frequency of stress, alert, and defense. It is useful for war, but it blocks revelation. Now the war is over, but your brain is still stuck on the war channel. You're trying to hear God's symphony, which plays on a frequency called theta, but your receiver is jammed with the static of survival. Romans 12 verse 2 tells us to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. That word renewing implies a reset, a retuning. You are trying to download a new life into an old operating system that is still looking for threats that no longer exist. But here is the problem. You cannot force your brain into this theta state with willpower alone. You cannot just command your brain to stop stressing. Ancient monks and mystics would spend 20 years in caves meditating just to master this switch from beta to theta. But you do not have 20 years. The harvest is ready right now. The doors are opening this week. So how do you shift the dial instantly? How do you clear the static so you can finally hear the everything God is trying to tell you without spending decades in a monastery? I have found a key. A bridge that science confirms and spirit recognizes, and I am going to share it with you right now. It is called the genius wave. Think of it not as a magic pill, but as a spiritual tuning fork. When a piano is out of tune, it does not matter how talented the musician is, the music will sound wrong. You are the talented musician, but the trauma of your testing season has knocked your brain out of tune. You are stuck in beta waves, which is the frequency of anxiety and survival. But God speaks in theta waves, which is the frequency of creativity, intuition, and divine download. 1 Samuel chapter 3 verse 10 tells us the story of young Samuel. God was calling him, but Samuel could not identify the voice. He thought it was Eli the priest. He heard the sound, but he missed the revelation because he was not yet calibrated to the right frequency. He needed Eli to teach him how to tune in. In the same way, NASA research has confirmed that sound waves can entice the brain to shift frequencies. This technology is the modern Eli. It is a 7-minute audio track designed to gently guide your brain from the noise of survival back to the theta state of revelation. It clears the static so you can finally hear what God is shouting. I have put the details for this tool in the pinned comment. If you feel led to recalibrate your receiver, investigate it. It is time to stop straining to hear and start tuning in to receive. And once you are tuned in, what exactly are you receiving? This brings us to the reward. I told you that you passed, and I told you that you are entering the season of harvest. But most chosen ones have a poverty mindset regarding restoration. You think God is just going to give you back what you lost. If you lost 3 years, you want 3 years back. But that is not how the kingdom works. I want to introduce you to a Hebrew concept called shalom. In Joel 2 verse 25, God says, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." We read restore and think replacement. But the Hebrew word shalom implies a debt paid in full plus interest. It is the law of restitution. In biblical law, if a thief was caught, he did not just return what he stole. He had to pay back up to 7 times the value. The enemy is the thief. He stole your time, your peace, and your resources. Now that you have passed the test, the court of heaven has ordered shalom. That means you are not getting back equal value. You are getting back overpayment. I saw this happen to a man who lost his executive position during his testing season. For 14 months, he was unemployed, humiliated, and confused. He felt like a failure. But he used that time to get his mind right, to tune his frequency, and to trust blindly. When the shift happened, he did not just get another job. He received an idea for a business that generated his old annual salary in a single month. That is shalom. God did not just give him his job back. God gave him ownership. You're not waiting for a job offer. You're waiting for a settlement check from the enemy. And along with shalom comes something else. Philippians 4 verse 7 speaks of the peace of God which passes all understanding. The Greek that phrase passes all understanding is hupereko. It literally means to tower over or to be superior to. It is not a passive peace. It is a military guard. It means that when chaos tries to enter your mind, this supernatural peace rises up like a fortress wall and says, "You cannot pass." You will know you have received this reward when problems arise that used to make you panic, but now you feel absolutely nothing but calm. That is your hupereko. That is your heavy artillery of peace. However, I must warn you, the moment you step into this frequency of shalom and hupereko, you become dangerous. And because you are dangerous, the enemy will try one last desperate attempt to sabotage your transition. Ephesians 6 verse 11 tells us to stand against the wiles of the devil. The word wiles means schemes or tricks. He will not come with a frontal assault because he knows you are too strong for that now. He will come with traps. There are 3 specific traps you must avoid in the next 40 days. The first is the trap of offense. People who abandoned you in your dark season might try to come back now that you are shining. Or the memory of their betrayal will try to poison your heart. Do not take the bait. If you carry bitterness into your new season, it will rot your fruit. Forgive them not for them, but to keep your frequency clear. The second is the trap of old cycles. When the pressure lifts, it is tempting to go back to what is comfortable even if it was toxic. Do not return to the vomit of your past just because you are hungry for familiarity. The third and most dangerous is the trap of premature announcement. Joseph made this mistake. He received a dream and immediately told his brothers who hated him. Do not broadcast your shalom before it is solidified. Keep your mouth shut. Let your results make the noise. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, what if I mess this up? What if I am not ready for this level of blessing? That fear is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of wisdom. Only a fool rushes into the throne room without trembling. The fact that you are concerned about stewarding this blessing proves you are the right person to carry it. Now we are going to seal this. We are going to activate this reality in your spirit right now. I want you to do something with me. You might be driving, you might be lying in bed, or you might be sitting at your desk. You do not need to move your physical body. But in your mind is I. I want you to stand up. Visualize your spirit standing up tall, straight and unbowed before the throne of grace. Place your hand over your heart in your imagination. This is the posture of a soldier reporting for duty. Father, we stand before you right now, not as victims, but as victors. We acknowledge that the testing season is over. We acknowledge that the silence was not abandonment, it was protection. We thank you that you hid us in your vault until we were ready. I seal this revelation in the spirit of in. Every chosen one listening, I seal the truth of shalom over their finances and their relationships. I seal the peace of hupereko over their minds. I bind the spirit of fear, and I cancel every assignment of the enemy to trap them in offense or old cycles. I declare that their brain frequency is shifting right now. The static is clearing. The channel is open. They will hear your voice clearly. They will receive the divine downloads that will change their family bloodline forever. I commission you, chosen one. You are no longer a prisoner of the process. You are a prince and a princess of the promise. God is asking you right now, will you carry this glory? Will you walk in this new authority? In your spirit, shout, yes. Shout, I receive it. Shout, I am ready. Heaven has heard you. The contract is signed. The vault is open. You are dismissed from the waiting room. Go and occupy your destiny.